watching. So, Malia put this video in the chat. Might be decent, might be bad, but you know, we're just gonna watch it. Kaedee or Kaedee, 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 like the basketball player, I guess. Why you can't stop overthinking? My fault. I was gonna say why you overthinking, but they say why you can't.
Many bags in my life through overthinking. I feel I'm in my right to speak on this topic, and judging by the fact that you clicked on this video, I'm sure you can relate to the things that I'm about to say. And even if you yourself do not identify with the tag of overthinker, I'm sure
who in here be overthinking?
In your life in which you've overthunked mundane, otherwise unnecessary.
I be overthinking time to time.
Regrettable degree.
Not a lot though.
Someone who thinks everyone you pass in the street is secretly judging you for that one pimple you got in your forehead. Maybe you're someone who can't get over that time you fell on your ass in front of the hose when you were 6, or maybe you're someone who deletes videos after one hate comment because you think it automatically invalidates your opinion, and spends weeks on a script only to redo it entirely because you're fearful of the judgment of others, all while feeling.
But I used to overthink about the hoes that I sold, but then now I'm not, and now I'm just like, man, that's just life, bro. That's just life, bro. The only thing I'll be overthinking is when I stare at black nigga and they look back, they gonna think I'm racist.
You're one day away from falling off because your last video got less views than you hoped.
Very particular.
Maybe your dick is small. No matter who you may be, you've overthunked at some point in your life to a regrettable degree. And I say regrettable because the reasons we overthink are usually as stupid as the ones I mentioned earlier, but you don't think you are, at least in that moment. Which is the reason why being stuck in that void of thought is so hard to get out of. I feel like Stephen Hawking trying to swim. And it doesn't help that we also have the internet, which is practically you giving brass knuckles to the guy that just jumped you. Because what is your immediate instinct when you have any type of insecurity playing on your mind? You go to Google or TikTok or wherever you get your info from because you want to know whether the thing you're stressing over is rational or not. And
but that's the thing though, like niggas, I don't like if there's something that nigga insecure about, I'm not going to no fucking Google.
The route to go down.
I'm trying to figure that out myself. How to fix that.
It becomes easy to confuse analytical thinking and overthinking, and ironically, it causes you to underthink in pursuit of answers. And in this video, using my armchair psychology abilities, I'm gonna explain why you get stuck in your own head and how you can stop it for good. So grab some popcorn,
you got the methods,
up, and enjoy an unlicensed therapist. Become your therapist. So when you're forming,
I scroll Twitter more than TikTok. I ain't gonna lie. I've been scrolling TikTok more, but my algorithm on TikTok's starting to get more regular. You know what I mean? It's not like, I'm not regular in the sense like it's just random stuff at this point. It used to be just straight Joe Rogan theories, that black dude theories, sports videos. Like, can you name 7 basketball players? It used to be that, and what was the other one that I used to get a lot of? Conspiracy theories, the sports videos, and I don't remember the last one. I can't remember the last one. There was one other thing though. Now I just get a bunch of The Boys, the show, since the shit just finished, and a bunch of random other shit actually. Been on Instagram more. I use Instagram more because the joke's funny. I feel like I used to scroll on Instagram Reels, but now my Instagram Reels is just hoes, so I can't be scrolling my Instagram Reels.
Life, you're influenced by both your unconscious mind and the image you want to portray yourself as, with your ego acting as the link between these two worlds that help you come to a decision. And I talked a little bit about the collective unconscious in this video, but this video will go over more of the personal unconscious, which holds all your repressed memories. And this is important to note because repressed emotions lie within the emotional blind spot of your brain. Most of the time,
bro, I feel like I'm in a psychology class. Holy shit.
Them because they've been repressed, but those feelings are never deleted, and experiences that are traumatic enough to be locked away into the unconscious mind still can impact how you think, especially when you're distressed, because your brain hates anxiety, which makes sense because it's the danger signal in your brain. So it's a goal for our psyche to avoid anxiety as much as possible. So when you're in a calm state of mind, for example, your consciousness stays where it should be, as a link between your persona and your unconscious. But when anxiety forms over here,
so much brain, like, oh my goodness, my brain is expanding, bro. I didn't think this was I thought this was just like a Tommy Energy type, like this commentary video. This nigga is actually teaching us shit.
Your conscious mind will retreat into the unconscious as a coping mechanism, which is how overthinking, or getting stuck in your own head, happens. It's your conscious thought process becoming confined by your personal biases, and your perspective on situations becoming more narrow-minded, because you're not thinking with the outer world in mind, but rather nitpicking and fixating on the origins of your anxiety as a way of trying to avoid it. And I know this all just sounds like words to you right now, so let me give you an example.
Why you thought, bro, you freaked out?
Prince, like your boy. However, unlike your boy, you never had that much aura growing up. Maybe you weren't very well socialized growing up. Maybe you got teased and pushed around a little, and that makes you feel like shit. And this negative self-image that you have sticks with you throughout your life, and you're not too sure why your life has been this shitty until you start seeing videos like this. And because you don't know a life, sure why your life has been this shitty until you.
Short men below 5'8" are the most marginalized identity group in modern society. Not talking about me.
start seeing videos like this. And because you don't know a life outside of treatment like this, it makes you think, is it that important to be 6 feet? So you go into Google. Does height matter?
Does height matter? Oh my god, you sound like them, bro. This sound like them nigga talking about, yeah. He don't even know what I just read out loud, but he just know he included in that statement. That sound like how the 14-year-old niggas be, or the super young niggas that come in chat be like, I'm 15 years old and I'm 5'10". Is that good? Like, what does that mean? All right. Wait, what? Someone who's 6 foot earns on average $166,000 more than 30-year careers than someone who's 5'5". Yo, agent. How do they get your exact height?
And in this very moment, you've just become yet another person to fall victim to the radicalization of internet therapy. And this is the main reason I feel that people struggle with overthinking. Your insecurities lead you to seek confirmation bias, and with the internet being so widely used by millions of people with tons of different perspectives, the content from the group that you relate to will find its way to you and make your personal bias seem like it's an objective truth and not a personal experience. And anything that contradicts your bias will fall on deaf ears. For example, the guy who feels insecure about his height and consumes these height biased videos on daily will carry that chip on his shoulder throughout his days, because the 10 videos he saw on TikTok made it seem as if he's not a human for being 5'8". And because he has low self-confidence, he then has even worse of a time socially, because that thought of him being inferior stays in the back of his mind. And then if he were to see a video that goes against what he believes, those negative social experiences that his unconscious mind suppressed will come out and fuel him with even more resentment. And that's just one example of the all or nothing mentality overthinking.
That's what short niggas be going through day to day. That's so ass.
Gives you. This can be applied to anything that's commonly overthought about. You know, how much does looks matter? Oh, if you don't look like this, just rope max and restart. She'll always want this guy. You're just her backup.
I ain't even paying attention, bruh. What are you talking about? He literally just, like, you want me to just go back word for word what he said? Because I can't do that. But the synopsis was that these negative comments stick with niggas. And so now they internally thinking like, oh, shit. People already don't like short niggas. They already know that people don't like short niggas. So when I'm walking down the street and somebody that's taller than me, like, damn, that nigga short. I'm thinking, this nigga don't like me. Or these hoes don't like me. Because that nigga don't like short niggas. Like, what? Nigga think I gotta look dead at the screen. Thinking I can look off to the side for a second. Now it makes sense. Bro.
The socially anxious.
Just listen to what he's saying.
Listening to other socially anxious broke men online is
being
nice about
and he's saying, and he's pretty much saying that this community starts to build, because they're not gonna be the only short nigga in the world. Because everybody not what's the average height? 5'8". Everybody not that height. Everybody around that, for the most part. Then this is when like the incel community shit. I'm not saying that short niggas is incels, but I'm saying things like that, like the red pill community. They start branching because everybody like they got the same perspectives on shit. So shit like that.
It is, you get used. Nice guys always finish last. Be toxic and cold one minute, then shower them the next. Said the person
what?
who was a doormat their whole life and never set a single boundary. Nice show emotion. No, never. It'll flip a switch in their brain because these females ain't shit. Said the guy who dated the emotionally unavailable Hello Kitty girl when he was 16. And while you may think that by going to the extreme based essentially on a hunch, you're finding the objective truth because other people share your experience. So there must be some truth to it, right? Well, the thing is that by trying to mind read people, overgeneralizing scenarios, and jumping to conclusions based purely on your experience and past trauma,
did y'all see that?
You're not learning shit. You're just living through your perspective and straying away from logic, which, don't get me wrong, isn't necessarily wrong of you to do, because to you, you're simply trying to learn from your supposed mistakes. But where people do go wrong is when their thought process becomes
fake crash soon, bro. Chill.
Because the world is just far too large for every complex issue that brings you anxiety to have an undisputed right or wrong to it. But hurt and anxious people don't realize this is the case, because again, it's so easy to confuse being analytical with overthinking when you're overthinking. And yet they couldn't be any more different. Taking in multiple perspectives is coming to a logical conclusion, while only considering details that match your perspective is not. And like I said at the start, it's so easy to do this when you have the internet, because all it takes is a few searches and you've optimized your For You page to feed you confirmation bias. So with all this being said, now comes the $1 million question. How do you stop overthinking for good? Just don't overthink it.
There's no way.
Oh,
Oh,
brother, this guy stinks!
I know. It's like telling a homeless person to buy a house, but it's kind of the truth. Like, I feel like as of recent, especially with the huge spike of anxiety felt by people these days, we overthink life like crazy. I remember seeing a video on my TikTok feed a few days ago. This was really the inspiration for this video.
Forgot to post it, so here's Subway Surfers
videos, but it was about why you should escape that community. And one of the points brought up was that people who fall into that trap never look at people the same again. All they see is like the individual features and like the fucking lines that they draw. This shit's so corny. But to be honest, after having any type of culture shock, like falling into extremist ideologies, heartbreaks, traumatic events, how can you look at the world the same when these events quite literally change your perception of reality? Things you thought and were taught growing up are now all of a sudden wrong and cause your downfall in some way. And that's hurt, angry,
Miles Santana dropped a music video. Can somebody confirm this?
And rightfully so. So it's no wonder people start to get in their own head over stuff like this. But you want to know what's crazy? It's just so unnecessary. Trying to find objective truths, seeing the world in one specific way, and maybe how you cope with the personal biases you have, and it may feel like you have some control over your life, but it's just cruelty on your own psyche, because it's just impossible for you to know every single thing about life, because most things are neither here nor there, and there isn't one singular positive thing you can derive from holding the entire world to one singular narrative. You're only going to get more bitter and confused when you realize it's impossible to be perfect and free from anxiety in this world when there are so many different perspectives out there. Some people ain't shit, some people are amazing, some people will see you fly and tell you it's because you can't afford a car. So why waste your energy? Why stress about the bad that might come from a situation you're not even sure you have the answer to?
That I ain't gonna lie, that last statement definitely hit home. They convinced that you want to fly or you only fly because you can't buy a car. Like, you see how, like, that's some hating shit? Like, like, you just do something that you could do. Like, you could fly. But niggas like, oh yeah, that nigga just can't get no car. He broke. Like, what the fuck? Like, that is not what was said.
Never truly know all the answers to everything in life. You'll never truly know what people think of you. So just do your thing. Be authentic to yourself and grow alongside discomfort and live for true fulfillment, whatever that may be to you. And before you guys click off to go goon or whatever it is that you monkeys do, I have something pretty important to say, so I do ask for a little more of your time if you're a fan of me and care about the future of this channel. I'm gonna start this off by saying right off the bat, I will still be doing videos like this because it was my come up. I love making these types of videos. They're a big part of the image that I want to have on the internet. But, and this is a Kyle Lowry sized but, my main goal when I started YouTube was to have as large of a dedicated fan base as possible. It's the whole reason my content is the way it is. I want to be an actual influencer, but I'm gonna keep it real. These videos take me weeks to make, and I hate not being able to post as frequently as I like. So I'm here to announce that within the next few weeks, I will be starting to live stream. Boo! Get this guy off the stage. My glorious King Kaedee is sold out. Hold on. Put your pitchforks down. I don't mean this kind of streaming. I realized after the confessions video that 1, you motherfuckers need to find God, but 2, I had a lot of fun connecting with the community a little bit, and I feel live streaming is a win-win in regards to content output and giving myself more time to write out these kinds of videos. Most of what I stream will be community-based things, you know, like confessions or the room tour I'm gonna be doing soon, or, you know, maybe a Hassan Abi style stream or two, because I am a lazy bastard. So I've left a link down below for the Twitch. Whether or not you guys do decide to
shout out, bro.
I do genuinely appreciate you all tuning.
He got 100K, so you know what I mean. So he can get me niggas to migrate over there. This is W video though.
These videos,
nigga, is this? Hell nah.
Super proud of the community that's been built thus far, even though a lot of you are criminals. Anyways, that's all for me.
Why did he just say that?
Bye bye.
Like, how you just assume we criminals? What that mean?